Hello, Frederic. Thanks for being with us.
Welcome.
My first question will be, how would you define Storify and what is its added value?
Storify is a tool to curate social media. So right now there's a global shift in the way things are reported. Back a few years ago, each press agency needed an agent somewhere to report the news while it was happening. And when there was an earthquake, they had to send someone locally to take pictures and to get the information on the ground. Social media has radically changed that. Right now, what we can do is search social networks and see what's going on anywhere in the world. So Storify is a tool for the 21st century to curate this social media and to bring it all together in a single story. And that's why it's called Storify, because we're actually taking this very cluttered source of information, which can be Twitter, which can be Instagram, which can be YouTube, and we're bringing everything together in a single story.
So what's a typical use of Storify?
So there is a typical use because 21 of the top 25 US media sites are using us. So the main customers are, of course, news companies, but there's no typical use because we've seen companies like Adobe or universities like Harvard using Storify to bring user feedback in the case of companies directly into stories. And we've seen universities taking it to ask opinions to students and creating Storifys. So how they are doing it is like asking something on Twitter, and because there's no way to like display in your homepage a big list of tweets, except from embedding each tweet, we're actually offering this solution to generate this curated stream of tweets that Harvard or anyone else can embed in their page.
So would you say that the main function of Storify is to create documents from Twitter streams or other social network sites?
Well, for a long time, we've been really building this amazing tool that's Storify today. But right now, we're more seeing Storify as a platform that was built over the years, where we're actually centralizing all these social elements from different places. And you can browse Storify as a website and get your news from there. And we're definitely looking forward to seeing more of this in the next releases, but it's not only a tool we provide, but it's also a platform that you can browse and you can search stories. I guess you've seen that Korean clip called Gangnam Style, right? Which has gone viral, and it's actually great to look it up on Storify, because you can see a bunch of stories where people are explaining what it is all about and getting feedback from people on Twitter, posting covers of it, and I mean, it's really great.
Maybe can you explain that story for those who doesn't know, who have not followed that buzz?
So it buzzed on the internet, and it's a video about like a Korean singer that's going wild in a what is it? What music is it actually? Is it electronic music? Not really. Anyway, so the video has gone viral, got millions of views on YouTube, and it got shared like on every major social website. And what's been great is that a lot of users have actually been curating the best responses, the best video covers, because other people did remixes of it, and all this has been storified and brought into stories, and that's what we like to see.
Okay, if we take now maybe an academic example, in the case of our course, we have students live tweeting about what's happening in the course, about videos, interviews they see, etc. And one issue is that this creates a rather unstructured set of information. And so how would Storify help, and what would you suggest to students to do to restructure this flux of information into something manageable?
Actually, that's a big issue for Twitter right now. They have all these tweets, but they don't know really what they should do about it. That's where actually Storify comes in. So there are some ways to try to get an automatic curation of tweets, but that's not what we believe in. Storify is about manually curating the tweets. So let's say you're attending a conference, you can actually look up a hashtag, which is, in my opinion, the best way to sort stuff on Twitter. If you're at a conference, if you're organizing the conference, please mention what's the hashtag of the conference so people can tweet about it. And later on, when you want to storify it, you can just look up the hashtag and you'll get all the information about the conference. So that's great. Otherwise, you can still look up some keywords that you think people may use to put all this in the story. So what's the advantage of building this story is that, of course, people can just say, okay, there was this conference or lecture, and I want to know what happened. So you can search social media, but Twitter will only give this raw set of information with all these tweets, but there's no way to know what's relevant in it and get a structured feeling of what it was to be like at this conference. So when you get the Storify story, you can use Storify to add some text and create some more commented version of this raw set of information that you get in the beginning. And I think it's a big plus because if you just look up tweets, it's only 140 characters, which is very restrictive. And often you're just throwing out there a bunch of ideas that later on you would like to explain in a more expanded way. And I think Storify is a great tool for that.
Okay. Maybe on a more personal account, can you tell us how you start working for Storify? What's your age now?
Okay, so I'm 20 right now.
Okay,
so you're smiling.
And so yeah, tell us a bit about this adventure. I think it could be also interesting for our students.
Okay, so I started working with Xavier, which is now CEO of Storify, a while back. I'm from Belgium. He was studying at the university in Belgium too, so we met there. And I was still at high school, so just we were hacking together some stuff because I like coding, and we did some stuff a while back. And then he came along with Storify with the idea. So he really wanted to make it happen. He moved to the US where he met his co-founder, Bert Herman, which is actually an old journalist from the Associated Press, which was a very good asset for us, having someone in the media, since Xavier was an engineer and didn't had all these relations. And then as Storify grew, I didn't in the beginning work because working remotely is very hard when you're working far away from the office with all the other guys. So during a while, I wasn't really involved again in Storify. And then now for a few months, I restarted working actively, almost full time on Storify. But it all happened again 2 years ago when it all started.
So now you're commuting between California and here?
In Switzerland, yeah. So I'm working on my bachelor in computer science at the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology, and yeah.
And how, well, first, I mean, how is it to live in two countries and to take studies in one countries and and work in another?
If it was only up to me, I would already have dropped out. So the whole story is that I got a few offers in California to stay there, and I asked my parents about it, and they said, "No, you should better have a degree." And the whole Silicon Valley was laughing about me, like, "Who needs a degree in Silicon Valley?" Like, no. And so I listened to my parents. Yeah, I'm a good boy. And I ended up coming back here. But I mean, I spoke with Xavier, and I can work remotely on some exciting projects.
Excellent. And so basically, I mean, I think it's too early to ask you the question, but you'll see in 2 or 3 years, I mean, whether that would have been, whether you have learned anything useful, or if it's just to get a degree. I mean, that I guess you can't answer now, and it's a bit up to you to some extent. Okay, thanks a lot, Frédéric, and we'll see you in class to do an actual demonstration on the practical cases.
Okay.
Thanks, Frédéric.
See you.